Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, day 3 of my WarbossTae Painting Challenge. Link to WarbossTae's channel in the description below. Check it out if you haven't done so already. And I, of course, have been busy painting on my Dark Eldar. So now I've gone in and managed to finish the other 2 boards, because I've got my army on these 4 boards just to make it a little bit easier to paint them. So I started off just over here with the scourges, painted those up first. They're just lying down because it's just easier so they don't accidentally drop on the floor. And then I painted the rat ogres and all the weapon options. Now I painted the whole of that board in an hour and a half. I say painted, I dry brushed it. I'm dry brushing at the moment with the Troll Slayer orange. So yeah, it was an hour and a half. Once I got through the scourges, I was able to get the big brush outs on those rat ogres because they're quite big models. And that really did help speed things up, and I continued using that big brush up over on the second tray with the vehicles, and again I was able to paint all of that, dry brush everything in an hour and a half thanks to that big dry brush. So the Vipers, the Talos, Kronos and the Raiders, all with that big brush, apart from some of the fine details. So I did go in afterwards and paint the little men, some little areas where the big brush wouldn't get in with the small brush. But yeah, overall really happy with that. So that was 3 hours of solid painting, and I've now finished dry brushing the whole of the army with the very first layer of paint. So exciting times. Tomorrow though starts the real hard work, because I'm going to have to then start going in with the orange paint and laying down the foundations, or the base coat of where I want this orange to be on the army. And I'm not 100% sure. I know I'm going to do orange shoulder pads, but possibly chest plate, possibly kneecaps, but the models tend to be different. They don't all have the same armour. So I'm just going to play it by ear, I think. I'll probably go in, just paint all the shoulder pads first, see how they're looking, and then just go from there basically. But that's tomorrow. Okay, so today's daily question: what is the next single model or box set you plan to add to your collection? And it's going to be absolutely anything. And why is it your next purchase? Well, I've been thinking about this for quite some time, but I really would like to get a couple of exocrines for my Tyranids. I want 2. I'm going to magnetise them obviously into the other option, but the exocrine is the model that I want. Pretty decent unit on the table, looks pretty cool, and it's a unit that I don't have in my rather large Tyranid force, so that is what I've earmarked for that. I'd also like to do, I think, the tertiary objective for week 1. So just give you something else to look at. Zoom in on these grotesque models, stroke rat ogres. Right, so tertiary objective week 1 is share with us the fluff behind your project. Why did you choose your project? Is it a new edition? Is it a brand new board game? Etc, etc. So the reason why I chose this project is because obviously I was doing the £25 army challenge, and part of that challenge for me was to paint the army up as quickly as possible. So get the army cheap. This whole army here, £50 cost me, thanks to some nice donations from many people, as you probably already know. But yeah, the idea was to have the army built and painted, and just show that you can actually play 40k without actually spending too much money, and without actually spending, well, you do spend the time. Obviously I am putting the time into painting them, but you know, you are able to get your army tabletop ready fairly quickly if you put in a little bit of effort. So that's what I wanted to sort of achieve as such. And in terms of the fluff, it's fair to say I have no fluff. I'm really not into the fluff, to be fair, but I would like to have some fluff for my Dark Eldar. Now, my IDIC Eldar, originally I was thinking that this Dark Eldar force could be like a small allied detachment, and I was going to keep the fluff of this new Dark Eldar army in line with the IDIC Eldar, my normal Eldar. And I was going to have the bases all the same, so it sort of all matched in and stuff. But actually, I've come away from that now. I'm thinking I want this Dark Eldar just to be their own army. I'm thinking about doing a different style of base. They're going to have totally different fluff. I can still ally with my IDIC Eldar, but they don't necessarily have to have the same fluff. They could just meet up and fight together or stab each other in the back, whatever they want to do. So, yeah, but I don't actually have any fluff. Now, if any of you guys who are really into the fluff and you have some spare time and you fancy writing me some fluff, doesn't have to be that much fluff, just like a couple of paragraphs just to give me a concept, because that's all I would really be interested in anyway, to be fair, some basic fluff. Now obviously you've seen the colour scheme. It's basically like an orangey colour scheme. I was thinking, I don't know, maybe they could be like offshoots from the fire dragon aspects that have gone wrong and multiplied, and I don't know. I have no idea about fluff. So yeah, I don't have any fluff for these guys, unfortunately, and also I don't have a name. I need to name my army because I like to have a name for all of my armies, and so far my Dark Eldar don't have a name. I'm currently calling them Beerdar, but I don't really like that much. All of my other armies start with the, so I have like the Soulless Necrons, the IDIC Eldar, the Tyranid Stingerhive Fleet, the Wolvenkind. Dark Eldar, I don't have a name yet. So if you fancy thinking up a name for me as well, that would be really awesome as well. If I get quite a few, suggestions for names, then maybe I just like randomly pick a name, put the names in a hat or something. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, so I think I've rambled on enough in this video. Really happy with my progress after 2 days. After 3 days. Well, 1 day was only priming, so 2 days of actual painting. So really happy, and yeah, still lots and lots of work to be done, but we are in the right direction. Thanks for watching.